Councilmember Richardson.
Mr. Mayor, as we've discussed a few times, I am making a motion to designate Juneteenth as a holiday for the city, as a paid holiday for the employees of the city.
Second.
Any discussion? I'm not going to speak against, but I'm going to speak what troubles me is I didn't have enough pizzazz. I would have made this years ago. I didn't know we can. I admire you, respect you. But Armistice Day, Veterans Day, has been around since 1918. And not to, you know, we have 10, the state now has 13. There's no doubt this has passed overwhelmingly in our state legislature on March 31st, April 1st, can't remember which one. But I would favor more if, I don't know how you do it, but I'd hate to do one and not the other for the armistice. I mean, we're a place just a mile from here. We're going to have a multi-million-dollar veteran place. We have one of the best Veterans Day parade going. And I'm just throwing that out there about picking one over the other, especially one that's been on the books for 104 years. I mean, it was originally called Armistice Day. And it just, you know, do we go for both and do 12 if that kind of thing goes? Do we? I mean, I'm just throwing that out. I mean, that's my problem. It just doesn't seem, the new kid on the block.
I think that, if I might, I think
Yes,
that
ma'am. That's it all.
I think that we vote on this. I think that if there is a desire to have Veterans Day as a holiday, as a federal holiday, and being the only veteran that I'm aware of on council, I don't have a problem with that, but I think that's a separate vote. I think we, as you said, it's been around since 1918. Griff hasn't been on council that long, but just short of that. And, you know, it's not been brought up as a holiday before now. And I think to put them on together is to say that the only way one will be supported is if both happen. And I think we need to address it, put it on here. If you want to come back and do Veterans Day, again, as a veteran, I totally respect that. It is also a federal holiday. It is, I think the county has finally decided to recognize it, and I don't think that it would be inappropriate for us to do so. But before us today is the question of, does this city recognize the importance of Juneteenth as an ending date to a horrible time in our history, and recognize it as a date of celebration of the ending of slavery?
Thank you. But you mentioned long, I mean, Juneteenth was 1865. I mean, it's sat on the table for a long time.
And I will say that I will say that it's
that's
set on,
just my problem.
it's set on the table in some communities. I will tell you that in the African American community, it hasn't set on the table. So, just like Armistice Day, if you look at the history of Armistice, and I know that I'm sure you know this, Armistice Day was initially only to support, obviously, World War I veterans. It didn't look at any other war. It was only the ending of World War I, World War I veterans. It wasn't until 1954 that it finally became Veterans Day, and it took in all veterans of all wars. So, yes, holidays will move along and they will become different things. Today, the question is, Juneteenth has been around and celebrated in several communities for years. And now, will we recognize it here?
Any further discussion?
Well, I
personally, I would like to see us go back and take them both up at the same time. I don't agree with you about how you take up one and then leave that behind again. So that's my feeling. We'll go ahead and vote and run it out.
Any further discussion? Please indicate your vote. Yeah, basically this means we tie, and I'm for looking at both of them. Unless y'all override my veto.
I'm going to make a motion to override the veto.
Second.
Any further discussion? It takes 5 to override the veto.
Takes 5 votes.
All those in favor of overriding the veto, please indicate your vote. The motion to override fails.
I will just say that this day will go down in the history of Marietta.
Thank you. Anything else come before us?
Unscheduled appearances.
Schedule appearance. Anybody like to come forward and speak?